from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. This is the National Football League.
Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Looking to throw. Dill.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Dill. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Curry, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
To throw on 2nd down. Dill. James has got it. Complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Now some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second and 5. Now a handoff here to his running back. Breaks free again. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Looking to throw. Dill. Quick hitter here. It's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. From the gun, Dill. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. A great play there. There to make the grab. And the Colts take it right down and score on the opening drive. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
8 yards to go on 2nd down. Hands it off out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Got his man. It's Driver complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They're going to look to throw. He gets this one to Johnson. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
On 1st down, Curry. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7. Now a give right side. Curry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Dill. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. He comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him. And I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On third down, Dill, and that is incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just one first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
The Colts send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. This is taken at the 23. Not good at all. Punted just 24 yards there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
A pass there over the middle to start things out. 7 yards, the pickup there. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Second and 3. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
And to give this time to the tailback. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw here. Oh, fighting off the defender. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
Back to throw here. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. He'll drop to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Back to throw again. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Not what you wanted there. It goes as a sack and a loss of a yard. And not only that, now it's 4th and goal. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Curry. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dill, and he will find his man on the outside. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
On 1st down, Curry. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That that time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Looking to throw. Dill. Throwing right, and that's complete. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Just a yard to go here on second down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And some room to work. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Dill, he finds his man, complete. It's James. And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at him with the same play, the same set.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the Colts add on to their lead. So 2nd and goal there from the 1. They go to the air.
And the perfect down to throw the football in this sequence. 2nd down is always kind of the Do they throw it? Do they run it? They worked it out to perfection on that one by throwing it into the end zone.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that he can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Dill. Flushed out right. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
2nd and 8. Back to throw. Dill. He finds his man. Complete. It's Curry. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On 3rd and 2, Dill to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And this one is right through. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Throw left side complete. That's Curry. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Dill. By Playing time to his left. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. It's their quarterback as the first half is winding down. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive as they take over here with 11 seconds remaining. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And an anxious moment or 2 there, but they do get him down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. He'll look to throw. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime.